Hello everyone, my name is Chris McIntosh. I help teach the Nursing Informatics Seminar course. Today we're getting an overview of the writing analysis exercises we'll do this semester. This information about capstone comes from the Master's Policy and Progression Manual. You'll notice I've highlighted some parts in red. Capstone consists of a final project, an oral presentation, and a manuscript. This work breakdown structure diagram, also called a WBS diagram, outlines many of the steps you will complete during your last 2 semesters, including the steps to create your project proposal, write your manuscript, and prepare your presentation. The steps of creating your project proposal and outlining the objectives and steps of your project will be done during fall semester next year. The steps of writing your capstone manuscript and delivering your presentation will be done during spring semester next year. You can see papers written by students in previous years at these links. More recent papers will be more similar to the current template. Mise en place is a French cooking term that means everything in its place. It is the practice of preparing everything necessary to create a dish, including tools and ingredients, before starting to actually cook. We're going to apply this concept to preparing to write. We're going to review some concepts about writing clearly and do some short writing analysis exercises this semester to get all of us on the same page when it comes to reviewing the writing we'll be doing during the rest of the program. I'm excited to work with you together on this. We're going to review writing concepts developed by an emeritus professor of rhetoric named George Gopin. He teaches an approach to writing called the reader expectation approach. The basic tenet of his approach is that the writer needs to take into account reader expectations regarding where to find information in the sentences and paragraphs of a document in order to have the highest likelihood the reader will interpret what he or she reads as the meaning intended by the author. I've been writing for much of my academic career, but had never been explicitly exposed to some of his concepts. I wish I had learned some of these things earlier. As far as I know, I'm the only professor in the College of Nursing teaching these materials, so other professors may not be familiar with this. I like this quote in one of his books. A major part of growing up is the transformation from being someone who merely responds and obeys to being someone who chooses and controls. This semester, we're going to learn how to take more control of our writing process and products. We're going to read some selected articles he makes available on his website. The first link goes to his website and has links to all of the articles. We're only going to read a short list of the articles I thought were most essential to get started. The second link goes to a section of a GitHub page where I've highlighted the articles I consider most essential. You may wonder why we need to work on analyzing writing and learning to write better when ChatGPT can just write things. One answer is that ChatGPT can't read your mind and know if it's writing what you really intend to say. In addition, the results from ChatGPT depend on the prompts it is given. It is still early days with this technology, and everyone is learning how to create prompts that give the desired results. Some prompts are more successful than others. You need to know how you can analyze text so you can determine if the output you obtain actually meets the requirements specified. It would also be good if you could identify ways to fix any problems or deficiencies you identify in the text produced by AI. Another reason it would be good to practice analyzing writing is to improve your ability to be an effective and persuasive writer. In most healthcare settings, employees, including nurses, are encouraged to identify potential problems and unsafe conditions and bring them to the leadership's attention. One common method of communicating those items is the Situation, Background, Assessment, Recommendation, or SBAR, Structured Communication Framework. The use of the S-bar extends beyond clinical settings and into informatics as well. Most informatics projects, large enough to be headed by the organization's Project Management Office, or PMO, that I saw, had an S-bar attached and available for project team members to review. As an informatics nurse, you may be asked to write and review many such documents. The S-bar, or something similar, is an important decision-making tool for leadership. It is important for S-bars, or other documents you're asked to create, to be as persuasive and clearly understood as possible so projects get the attention and understanding they deserve. Finally, the writing process is a nice exemplar of putting the nursing informatics specialty components and relationship framework into action. Nurse informaticists help gather data, turn data into information, turn information into knowledge, and turn knowledge into wisdom as part of their practice. Producing a piece of writing involves all of those steps. You start by gathering requirements and relevant evidence. You turn requirements and evidence into cogent statements. You synthesize and organize statements into a cohesive unit. And hopefully you provide useful insight into a problem with a solution in a fully formed document. My experience working in the field of informatics was that the longer I was on a team, the more I was asked to help come up with, The longer I was on a team, the more I was asked to help come up with solutions for our problems and to consult on more than just the task at hand. Whether you are an individual contributor on a team asked to document a process or communicate with a client, or a leader asked to coach and evaluate others, having mastery over the writing process and the analytical skills to write well will help you. The assignments will be short. They will consist of 1 to 2 short reading assignments about writing. The readings are all 2 pages. You will select a paragraph from our other assigned readings for the week and analyze the paragraph using the technique for the week. The final assignment you turn in will have a main page and a reference page. We will use a structured format for presenting the analysis and the findings. If you're going to analyze something, present the findings in a way that makes it easy for the reader to find the relevant information. I may ask you to create a small table to report some of the details. I may ask you to suggest a way to improve a part of what you analyzed based on the techniques we practice. When it comes to the analysis part of the assignment, there aren't really right and wrong answers. I'm interested to see what we can identify in the writing we examine. George Gopin makes the point several times in his writing that his intent is not to create a rigid set of rules. All meaning is derived from context and interpretation. Our goal is to produce writing that will be interpreted the way we intend by most people most of the time. All writing is subject to infinite interpretation, meaning that many people can interpret the same writing in many different ways. Our goal with these analysis assignments is to get us used to looking at how we structure our own writing. Another goal is to help us get used to the mechanics of APA. That's all we'll do in this video. I'll create some other videos to show how some things are done, so it should be fairly simple to complete these assignments. Here are the references for this presentation.